It's estimated that nearly 300 million people living in rural India are still using kerosene and wood-fired stoves for cooking. Not only is this terrible for the environment, but it also exposes these very same people living in those homes to a toxic level of pollution. Many individuals and companies are experimenting with cleaner technologies when it comes to cooking stoves. WION's Johan Castell caught up with an Australian innovator called Russell Collins, who has come up with a better way of heating and cooking. Take a look.
I've come to Sethan village, which is located about an hour's drive away from Manali at 2,780 meters altitude. Now this is a really small town of only 15 to 16 houses, but I've come here to meet with Russell Collins, who have found innovative ways to develop the traditional chulha stove. And he has managed to build a new one which uses significantly more of the energy inside wood. And he's thus able to reduce chances of deforestation and to also improve people's health in the area. So we're going to go have a look at what stoves he's built. Hey, Russell.
Hey, hi, Johan.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Yeah.
So, what are they saying? That where there's smoke, there's fire, but where there's fire, there's not always smoke? Or?
Exactly, yeah. So, what we're working on here is ways of using smokeless technology. And
right.
By that, what I mean is that we have developed, or we're enhancing technology that burns the smoke itself. So, we have a fire, we make smoke, and then we burn the smoke.
Right. Now, how do you accomplish doing that, basically?
So the technology is open source. It's been around for a long time. It's called rocket stove technology.
Okay.
And we've just been innovating on two different ways of using that. One way where for cooking specifically, where we're just using clay.
Right.
And the idea is that we can teach people how to make their own smokeless cook stoves,
right.
just using the materials that they can find in their own village, their own backyard, in the fields. So we have clay, we have a bit of grass, or bulsa it's called, and some kind of biomatter, like sawdust or puffed grains. And we mix those three things together.
Puffed grains even, you can throw in there.
Grains. Yeah, we've been using puffed rice, is really good.
Wow.
And this, because what happens is we mix it in the clay,
right.
we fire it up, get it really hot, and those little things burn out.
Right.
And what you're left with is clay that insulates, because it's got pockets of air is what makes insulation.
Okay.
And by insulating, it traps the heat. The heat increases to the point where the smoke burns.
Okay.
It's really simple.
So there's like a switch there, and then you combust the smoke, and then you avoid getting the smoke as an exhaust from this.
Exactly.
From
so there's two benefits. The first is, of course, we burn the smoke, which means that we get rid of it, so you're not breathing it, firstly. And then secondly, because it's an energy source, we're getting additional heat. So generally speaking, we can say we can halve the wood input, or dung, or whatever the biomass is.
Right.
We can halve it for the same amount of heat that they would normally get using a traditional chulha. As you would probably know, household air pollution is a major problem in various parts of the world, and in particular in India.
Right.
And so we're really trying to address that with a solution that won't cost the end user any money up front.
Right. So it becomes a lot about education then, and to teach people how can they build this themselves, basically.
Exactly. So we're not selling a product as such. We're training people how to do it for themselves for the cooking application. And then the other application for the technology is for heating in the Himalayas, and that's where we've over here we've got our Himalayan rocket stove.
So this is your latest enterprise.
It's the same technology inside the box, but this is primarily for heating.
Ooh.
So people put the wood in the front like a traditional bokadi or a chula, and it burns. Yeah, you just open the door, and wood inside, it burns in the front section, and then it gets drawn into an insulated tube that's inside this box, and we're burning the smoke and trapping the heat. So we're trying to get the maximum amount of heat into the room by doing it inside this metal box.
So that would be primarily for the Himalayas, where you're focusing on this, where it's really cold in the winter and it's for heating.
Yeah. So in the Himalayas, where people are typically burning wood for 6 months of the year to stay warm, the idea is that with this device they will use approximately half the amount of wood.
So I hope we'll be seeing these all around the mountain areas of the country soon then.
Yes, yeah. In fact, we're even getting requests from other parts of the world now.
Oh, really?
For this technology, because it actually significantly reduces the smoke and the black carbon output.
Right.
So we're getting, especially in the mountains, where snow melt is exacerbated by this black carbon particulate matter, we're reducing by quite a massive amount. Like
right. Well, that's brilliant. So let's go and have a look at a place where this thing has been put into someone's home and see how it looks like in action. Yeah.
Yeah, working through.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome. So out of all the places you could try this, why did you decide to do it here in the middle of nowhere?
Tenzin's from this village, so we had a natural connection here.
Right.
And just by chance, we found out that Seton has fantastic clay. So most places have some kind of clay, but Seton has like really good quality pottery clay.
So these are two different stoves. And now what's the difference of the regular one and your stove?
Right, so traditional chula here on the left, and as you can see, you just basically put wood in there, burn it, and all of the smoke just goes and hangs in the room.
Right.
Right. So with our modified chula, we can say on the right, we've set it up with, you can see a taller tube at the back and a little wood feed at the front. So it's smaller wood feed because you don't need as much wood. And what happens is, through natural convection effect, the smoke gets drawn into that tube. We spin it to create turbulence. There's a little airflow through that pipe, and we mix in oxygen, and we get the temperature up to a point where the smoke itself burns. And that has a double benefit. So obviously there's less smoke in the room, but also it means you only need half as much wood.
Right. Through his social enterprise, Russell Collins aims to save 1 million trees from being cut down over the next 10 years. This is Johan Castell reporting from Setan village on World Environment Day for WION.
And in fact, Johan Castell and Mehraj Shah, the team from WION Traveller, are travelling in Himachal Pradesh, and they sent us a special story. Remember, summertime in northern India is when most tourists hit the hills. Unfortunately, they also leave behind tons of litter. Now, there's a Haryana resident there, a trekking enthusiast by the name of Pradeep Sangwan, who's formed Healing Himalayas to involve communities in cleaning up the hills. Take a look at this report filed by Mehraj and Johan.
From Jogini Falls, just above Vashisht village near Manali. We are here with Pradeep, who runs Heal the Himalayas, an organization that organizes volunteers to come together and pick up trash, clean up trekking routes, so on and so forth. Johan, we all know. Today is World Environment Day, first time India is hosting it, and we couldn't have been in a better place. We're with a bunch of school children, and we're going to go up to Jogini Falls and pick up all the litter we can find. Pradeep, over to you.
And theme is to beat plastic pollution. What is plastic pollution? Especially when we talk about plastic, it is single-use plastic. That is the major cause of pollution in our country, in our oceans, in our mountains. So stop using single-use plastic, plastic bottles, straw, plastic cutlery and everything. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
And Johan, any words of wisdom?
That's it, guys. They said it all, man. They covered everything.
That up there is Jogini Falls.
That is right there.
That's a bit of a bonus. It's going to be a walk as well. Over and out, folks.